Theoretically or on books, it is advisable not to use sawdust. On books, it is said that one should not use sawdust but wood shavings because chicks can mistake sawdust for feed, and in the process they consume it in good quantity, which will now lead to gastrointestinal impaction and ultimately resulting in death. This is one topic I usually have a different view on, different from what is on books or theory. Truth be told, a baby chick is much more likely to die in that first week than at any other time in its life. They will close their eyes and become lethargic, and before you know it, they will die. Irrespective of the quality of the chicks supplied or procured and the level of management that is done, early chick mortality cannot be avoided completely. Having a mortality rate of 1 to 5% is normal for a batch of chicks, but anything above 5% is abnormal and urgent steps need to be taken. So, you don't need to wait for your day-old chicks to start dying before taking action. There are steps you need to follow in order to avoid this chicks mortality, and I'm going to break them down for you in this video. All you just have to do is to watch till the end and do not skip because of the bonus tips I included. What's up my people, and welcome to Life of a Farmer Loaf. You can also follow me on my Facebook page at Life of a Farmer Loaf for regular updates. I remain your anchor, Ishokri Ovokeronye. You can call me Ovorons. On this channel, we discuss farming in details, how to grow your farm, challenges faced by farmers and how to control them. So ensure to subscribe and click the bell icon to get regular updates whenever I upload a new video. Don't forget to give this video a like, comment, and most importantly, share for others to benefit. Without wasting your time, let's dive into the main cocoa. This is one topic I usually have a different view on, different from what is on books or theory, and it is litter management or litter contamination. And I will be practical about this based on my experience. Litter is one aspect that can increase mortality, which is another most crucial cause of chick mortality. The quickest ways your chicks could die are from 1. Contaminated bedding materials, and 2. Wet bedding materials. We all know that once your wood shavings or bedding materials are wet, the rate of incubation of disease-causing organisms is very high. Always make sure that the bedding materials are dry, but they should not be too dry such that they will be too dusty to cause CROD. But let me give you a solution to this and explain it in details. The difference between sawdust and wood shavings is that the wood shavings has larger particle size or larger surface areas than sawdust. It is not out of place to use sawdust. Since I learned this trick, I have always used sawdust and never had issues with it, which I will share with you right away. Firstly, this has to do with availability and cost. In my location, sawdust is gotten almost free compared to wood shavings, which is very expensive. In order to cut down cost of production, I always use sawdust, and this is where tip number 2 comes into place. What I do to avoid the chicks from consuming the wood shavings is that before the chicks arrive, I will have to heat up the brooder house. Then, place feed and water before unboxing the chicks. You can place them directly on the feeding tray. In this way, your chicks will be able to differentiate feed from sawdust. Alternatively, you can mix the sawdust and the wood shavings together to reduce cost, since the sawdust is far cheaper or less expensive than the wood shavings. Secondly, young or day-old chicks often die, leaving us wondering what has happened, and this begins to give us great concern. This I will take my time to explain, and I will give in-depth explanation. The second bonus tip that should be of concern that could cause early chicks mortality during brooding is drought. When drought occurs in the brooder house, you should find out what the cause is because when this happens, chicks will huddle together towards one end of the brooder house. They may pack themselves so tight that some will die. What actually causes drought is sudden noise, rodents or predators. Also, when there is uneven distribution of light, in this case, the chicks will gather at the areas where there is bright light, leaving the dark side. So ensure there is even distribution of bright light in your brooder house. Another major cause of chicks mortality is by infection or diseases. Once the chicks hatches out of the eggshell, the immune system is not fully developed and as such, chicks are more likely susceptible to either viral, bacterial or parasitic infections. And this high mortality rate during the first week is very common in poultry farming due to diseases such as respiratory tract infections and septicemia. Firstly, in most cases, mortality that occurs within the first 72 hours after the arrival of chicks, that is, the first 3 days after the arrival of chicks in the brooder house, is very common, and about 70% of this is caused by E. coli. Secondly, Salmonella species are considered the second most common pathogenic agent responsible for high mortality in chicks. Although there are others, but these two are the major ones that causes high mortality. So, if you are to use any drugs or medications, make sure the active ingredients in such drugs or medication should be able to fight these disease causing organisms. In developed countries, there is this shift from the use of antibiotics to a antibiotic-free system. But in underdeveloped or developing countries, antibiotics still remain the best option to protect chicks during the first days against bacterial infections. Antibiotics such as bacitracin, oxytetracycline, and tylosin are some antibiotics that are still allowed and used in several countries to prevent these diseases. Also, anticoccidia such as monacin, narasin, salinomycin, and necarbazine helps to reduce the infections caused by coccidia, and most of these anticoccidia are mixed with feed for effectiveness. Another most important cause of early chicks mortality is poor management, and under this poor management, the biggest chick management factor for early death has to do with the brooder temperature. Too high brooder temperature can lead to dehydration. You see, the body of a young chick is 70% water, and when brooding temperature is too high, there is loss of water from the chicks, and water loss of 10% will lead to death of your chicks. The best ways to monitor your brooding house temperature is to use thermometer. But in the absence of thermometer, you can use the chick's reaction to tell if the heat is too high. You will simply notice that the chicks will move far away from the source of heat, as it is shown in the diagram. Low brooder temperature can also lead to death in young chicks. If they are too cold, it can also lead to failure of the digestive system, and this can make chicks to develop pneumonia. When the brooding temperature is low, chicks will huddle together and in this process smother the weaker ones. In fact, from their reaction, you can tell if the brooding temperature is too high. The chicks will let you know, and in this situation, they will huddle together close to or under the lamp or heat source and be making very loud chirping noises, just as shown in this diagram. Another very important point most people don't discuss about when talking about brooding is transition from too warm to too cold, back and forth. This also can cause pasting up and ill health. Any transition can cause stress which can lead to death. So you have to be very vigilant and monitor your brooding temperature very well. To know that the chicks are okay or the brooding temperature is right for them, you will see that they are evenly distributed all around the brooding house, just as they are in this video. Now, let me discuss how feed can cause early chicks mortality outside the fact that you don't need to feed your chicks contaminated feed. For broilers, they are usually given starter or super starter, and this often comes in either mash, crumble, or pelletized form. Each feed has its own advantages and disadvantages. It is okay to use any of them, but here is the technical aspect of it. When the particle size of the feed is too big for the chicks, they will be unable to eat, and this will affect them as they tend to select the feed. Their growth rate will also be affected. But that is not where I'm driving to. The implication of larger particle size of feed is that most chicks will stay off feed for a long time, and if you have lots of weaker chicks staying off feed, this could lead to starvation and finally death. I have experienced this, and that is why I make sure my vendor gives me quality chicks from a specific hatchery. The third bonus tip I have for you is how I normally manage such situations. The truth is that either my feed particles are large or small, I always make sure to sieve it, most especially the first 3 days and at most for 7 days. This trick not only makes the chicks not to starve, but also ensures that all the chicks consume the feed, and this also promotes high uniformity of chicks. Another very important but neglected causes of chicks mortality most people don't talk about is excessive use of medication, most especially multivitamins. It's not a bad idea to administer multivitamins to your chicks upon arrival, but the mistake most poultry farmers make is that just because the chicks arrives late or they were placed on the brooder house late or not attended to on time, they will have to increase the concentration of the dosage. This is a very wrong practice. Otherwise, it is stated never double or increase the dosage, be it antibiotics or multivitamins. The implication of this high dosage of multivitamin is that your chicks' GIT will be affected and the chicks will be passing out watery diarrhea. This is not good at all. Multivitamin should be given to them whenever they are stressed, after transportation, illness, vaccination, and other cases. This will boost their immune system. Also, administration of multivitamins for a long time at a stretch is not a good practice because this could lead to vitamin toxicity. Make sure to follow the instruction on the sachet or container. If the instruction says give for 3 to 5 days at a certain dosage, make sure not to exceed the dosage and the number of days it is to be administered. There are other causes which I have talked about in some of my videos which I will want you to check on. But don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell icon to get regular updates whenever I upload a new video. Give this video a like, comment, and most importantly, share for others to benefit. You can also follow me on my Facebook page at Life of a Farmer Loaf for regular updates. Thanks. Let me discuss a little about nutrition, and the first thing I will discuss about is how water can kill your day-old chicks. Water is one of the essential elements of maintaining the health and performance of the birds. Like I said earlier, the body of the chicks is 70% water. So, it only not act as a transport medium for nutrients and metabolic end products, but also it helps in maintaining body temperature during hot weather. In fact, water balances the minor deficiency of minerals like sodium, calcium, potassium, and others. Unclean water causes high mortality, which is unknown to the farmer, and they will keep on buying medication. You can use isoclor, polyidine, charcoal, and even iodine to treat water for your beds. And mind you, if you are using this as water treatment, make sure when you are about to administer vaccines, do not use any of these as they will render your vaccine useless. Vitamins such as vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K are all fat soluble vitamins. These vitamins are required for normal growth, development, and reproduction of chicks. A high deficiency of fat soluble vitamin can cause death. In comparison, minor deficiency of these vitamins result in cessation of growth, rickets, ruffled feather, anemia, and others. So just as we have fat soluble vitamin, we also have water soluble vitamins. And these vitamins are vitamin C and vitamin B complex. These water soluble vitamins are essential part of poultry diets. They are required for the metabolism, reproduction, growth, and development of the chicks. Deficiency of these vitamins can cause death, and minor deficiency can lead to poor feathering, low growth, weight loss, dermatitis, nervous sign, and anemia in chicks. Another factor that could cause early chicks mortality is when there is overcrowding. When chicks are overcrowded, organisms that causes disease easily build up and spread faster, and this leads to high mortality or death rate. Another way overcrowding can lead to mass death is when the chicks pile up and die from suffocation. This mostly occurs when they are frightened. So, make sure your brooder house can accommodate the number of chicks you order for the brooding period. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share for others to benefit. You can also use the end screen to watch other interesting videos and my playlist on how to brood your chicks to avoid mortalities. You can also follow me on my Facebook page at Life of a Farmer Love for regular updates. Thanks and God bless. See you in my next video. Peace out.